G'day, Pat here from Network 10's Pat Callinan's 4x4 Adventures. If you need a dual cab because it's not just a work vehicle, it's also your family car, or because you need to transport work colleagues, or because you need somewhere for precious cargo. Whatever the reason, if you need a dual cab and you need to transport heavy loads, here's why you should have a good long look at two brand new Volkswagen Amarok models, the Amarok XL and XXL long wheelbase utes. The case for a longer wheelbase on a dual cab is pretty obvious when you drop a heavy load into the back. Have a look at this. Here's our heavy load, this water tank. We've added around 725 litres of water, so that's around 725 kilos, plus the weight of the IBC itself. I'm having a guess that we're talking about 750 to 780 kilos. In the back of a standard dual cab, where the rear wheels are right up the back of the cab, significant weight on the back can start to lift the front end, like getting on a seesaw with your fat uncle. The standard dual cab could do with some help when it comes to big loads in the back. Just to be clear, the Amarok is engineered well, and for my money, it's about the best of the best. So weight in the back isn't an issue unless it's a really heavy load like this. So let's see what happens when we add this around 3/4 of a tonne to the regular Amarok. Putting weight behind the axle usually means that you're reducing the download on the front axle. The more weight that you add, or the further back that it's spread, the greater this effect. Now let's see how the load settles in the back of one of the new Amarok XXLs. This baby comes with an extra 650mm between the wheels, so we can get significantly more load in front of the rear axle, and this makes for a more even spread of the weight. Look at that, settles beautifully with no lift to the front axle. I'm not saying not to consider a GVM upgrade if you are carrying large loads, but I am saying that the Amarok XL and XXL share that load better. And the longer tray means we still have room on the back. And full disclosure, I'm a bit of a fan of the Amarok XXL. In fact, I was lucky enough to be the first owner of one in Australia. But I went a little bit silly with that project and I managed to build what I like to call the ultimate 4x4. In fact, I also made a 1-hour documentary on that build that you might want to check out online. Don't miss the beer keg. There are so many other great reasons why you want to have an extended wheelbase Amarok. You see, on a regular Amarok, the wheel sits around about here. Now, what a lot of people do if they want to carry a longer load or a bigger load is they just extend the tray, but that creates all sorts of problems. For example, the tow bar is then tucked way underneath the vehicle and it's almost impossible to access. When you put the rear wheel in the right place and put it further back, you can access your tow bar really, really easily. And have a look at this big fifth wheeler, all that weight behind the rear axle. With these new long wheelbase Amaroks, you can have the ball or pintle above, or better still in front of, the axle, sharing the load between the axles and not lifting weight from the front axle. But the big difference with the long wheelbase Amaroks compared to other extended wheelbase vehicles is that they know they're longer. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, new cars are fitted with electronic stability control, an intelligent active safety system that helps you maintain or regain control when something goes wrong. This system continuously monitors and compares all kinds of inputs, steering geometry, braking, vehicle attitude, speed, and wheel rotation. When this system detects inputs outside the ideal parameters, the system activates for the purpose of safety. Extending a vehicle alters the vehicle's geometry. You have a big car that thinks it's a small car. You might do something as simple as turning the steering wheel to full lock. The car thinks it's in a slide and just locks up. That's it, you're not going anywhere. Volkswagen has worked with a company called VEF Automotive in the Netherlands. They spent tens of thousands of dollars to update the electronic stability control software for these new long wheelbase models. So your Volkswagen XL and XXL electronic stability controls will behave as well as the standard Volkswagen Amarok, and much better than anything else on the market. So, who does these fancy Amarok extensions in Australia? Well, the only mob who can make these alterations to exactly the engineered and approved specification and quality of Volkswagen is Adelaide-based Adaptive Manufacturing. They've got a website, Google them, and you'll find a lot more information delving into the finer details of what I've been chatting about. Anyway, enough from me for now. I'm off to take this XL for a spin, which is fitted with some fancy VB air suspension. Catch you next time.